Hello and welcome to another video from Carl's Tech Shed. Right, what I've got here for you today is a very old mobile phone. It's a Sony CM-H333. These were very popular in about 1994. They originally cost about £500 if I remember rightly. Had a look on Google quickly and I think they first retailed for about $499 and then dropped to about $299 about a year later. What's interesting about this one is that it's complete in its original box with the charger, and I've actually checked and the battery holds a very good charge. The only downside to it is that it's never going to work anymore. The reason for that is that the first generation analog network, or 1G, was switched off in Britain in the late 1990s, which means that it will always display a no signal logo on the screen, so unfortunately it'll never work. And I'm not even sure if there's any countries left in the world which still have a working first generation network. So it's a very vintage handset, and I'm sure it might be worth a few quid in a few years. Well, I'm going to open it up so you can have a look at what's inside. Now what you have to remember about these ones is that this was before SIM cards were around, because these phones were only available on contract because pay-as-you-go didn't exist back then. The phone number to the phone was actually pre-programmed into the handset by the retailer. So for example, you'd go into Carphone Warehouse or the Link or somewhere, and you purchase the handset, and they would program the number in through a computer through this little port on the bottom here. If I can get this out. 2 seconds, let me find something to get this out with. What have I got? I'll use a leg off an integrated circuit. There we go. Oh, drop that now. Right, as you can see, it's got a little 10-pin connector underneath. Next to that is an aerial extension, and next to that is the microphone. But that little 10-pin connector would originally have connected to the retailer's computer for them to program in the phone number for the telephone. Right, now I'll put the battery in here. As you can see, it's still got the original charger, it's got the original holder, and it's got the original battery. There it is. As you can see, it's not a compatible or replaced battery, it's the genuine article. Now once again, these phones were around long before text messaging was about, so you'll notice that none of the buttons have any letters on. Also, this particular handset only had 3 speed dials, a free phone number memory, which was A, B or C. Now I'll just power this on. Hopefully it's not going to embarrass me and not turn on. Oh, there we go. See, the battery's full, and if you can see that message, it says no SVC, meaning no service. So yeah, that'll stay like that until the end of time, as far as I'm aware, because the 1G network was switched off long ago, so that'll never receive a signal ever again. On the side here you've got just the normal volume buttons up and down. There's nothing on that side. The charging port is actually on the battery itself, not on the phone. And on the top, as with a lot of these older mobile phones, you had, well, it looks like an aerial, but believe it or not, it's not actually connected to anything. There's a bit of history behind that. When they were actually designing the first mobile phones in the early 80s, they decided that for cosmetic reasons they would add an aerial which a person could pull up to make a call, to give them the impression they were getting a better signal. But as we open a lot of these up, you'll actually see that it's not connected to anything. There's no the actual aerial, the top of it's made of plastic. This bit I think I think that's actually made of plastic itself, I'm not sure, but I know for certain none of these were actually connected to anything, and the aerial itself was actually just a small piece of copper just in the back of the phone, connected to the, well, glued to the plastic. So there was nothing there which the aerial actually did. I think the first Nokia phone which had no aerial was the 3210, and they regarded it as a breakthrough, that you didn't need an aerial, but actually all they did was just remove the plastic aerial off the top and pretend that it was a scientific breakthrough, that you didn't need an aerial on the top of the phone. Well, in actual fact you never did anyway. But yeah, unfortunately there's not much to say about this phone, because the menu, well, there was no menus. The screen was simply a load of digits. I can type some digits in. Let's unlock it. Oh, that was one other thing. You had to slide the headset. You had to slide the earpiece up to unlock the handset. So there was none of this press the button or press this, press that. It was simple as slide the earpiece up. So we can type some numbers in now. So it's got a 10-digit display, so you'd be able to get most of your phone number. Well, actually, you'd be able to get all of the phone number on, because these phones were limited to a certain number of digits, because the actual phone numbers would have been shorter then, because I think it was in the late 90s they added a 1 in after the 0 on a lot of landline phones. So where it would have been, say, 0403, it would now be 01403. And the old mobile number started with 04 rather than 07. But yeah, the no service will stay on there permanently. But let's see if we can make a call, just for a laugh. I know it's not going to work, so... No service. And just to prove that that's not just because I tried to dial an emergency number, if we try... try a free phone number. Yep, again, it's just said no service. So unfortunately that'll stay like that forever. But it's a nice museum piece, I suppose, and the good thing is that it's still working. It's in its original box, and it was originally used on the BT Cellnet network, which is now known as O2 in the UK. But if we have a look at the box, you can actually see that there's very few features that it can actually boast about, because they were limited to contracts. There was no text messaging, certainly no games, no internet, nothing like that. It was simply a telephone. You can see here they say it's got a pop-up earpiece, off the hook of your cellular telephone. Slim and stylish design. Well, if you compare that to a modern phone, they certainly wouldn't call it slim. Long battery life, yes, enough for about 5 calls of about 10 minutes each. Easy access using 3 one-touch buttons. Wow, so you can store 3 phone numbers in it. Good sound quality, noise cancelling microphone. That might actually be true, but I can't test it unfortunately. And a call time indicator. Well, I think that the iPhone included all of its specifications and all of its features down to that level on the box. The box would probably be about the size of a shipping container. So you can really see they struggled to come up with different features they could advertise on the front of the box there. On the back, it's giving you a brief description as to what you can do with it. It says it's got a pop-up earpiece, press power button for more than 1 second. And another thing which was not included was an instruction manual. As you'll see, I know it's not in the pack, but you'll notice that it's not on the box either. It says it includes the cellular telephone, battery charger, AC adapter, and the battery pack. The only reason I can presume that there was no instruction manual included is because it was so simple to operate and there was no complicated features. It was as simple as pop the earpiece up, dial a phone number, press send, and talk to the person once they picked up the phone. Right, well, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully in the coming days and weeks I'll have a few more interesting bits of equipment I can show you.